Hi, it's Sandy Parker, and welcome to Crafting for Almost Everyone. Today we're going to make a really pretty card with a memory box stamp set called Birthday Rose Corner. I hope you'll stay tuned. So this is the entire stamp. That it's supposed to be a corner stamp, but it really is a significant size. I decided I would make it the entire card, and my card is a 5x7 card, so I'm sure that you can figure out from that that's a big stamp set. I mean, big in terms of the, you know, the actual image. So I've already stamped it with embossing ink and then put gold embossing powder on it and then heat set it. And then there's two little leaves extra, and so I stamped out 6 of those and then put gold embossing powder on those. And I'm going to use this watercolor set called Pretty Excellent. It's I think it's a Chinese brand, yep, or also Japanese, I'm not sure. I'm sorry, I apologize if I've offended anyone. I didn't mean to do that because I don't know the difference of the letters, etc. I need to wet these. A lot of YouTube watercolorists use this set of watercolors and really like them. So I thought, why not give them a whirl? Because you know how much I love playing with stuff like this. I've swatched out my all of my images, and this is that waffle flower swatch set that you get free if you download it from waffleflower.com. I talked about it in another video, but I think it's so great that they're willing to give this set free. What I did then is I put watercolor paper in my regular printer, cut to 8.5 by 11 like regular paper, and then it just went right through, no problem at all. Then I wrote all the names on the back because I didn't have room on the front, but they're in, if you look at it like this is the way they're set up. So my sister and her husband had their 40th wedding anniversary on the 30th of August, and as I normally am, I'm late. So I decided I better get with it. And if you didn't know, the 40th anniversary is considered the ruby anniversary. I'm not sure which way to put this. It's considered a ruby anniversary. So red is the color that the roses need to be. Nasturtiums are the flowers for the 40th anniversary, but of course, I already used nasturtiums in a video last week, and I didn't want to do that again. So unfortunately for my sister and her husband, I'm not sticking to the traditional what do you get as far as the flower for their 40th anniversary. The brushes I'm using are from Grace Arts, and they're you get them on Amazon. I think it's a set of like 10 or 12 for $8. Really nice brushes. Hold their points really well. I like them. I'm not a watercolorist, as you guys all know, but I like to make sure I tell you things like this, because if you want to start doing any kind of watercoloring, I like to make sure I tell you the products that other people have said they love, and so if they work for me, then I make sure I tell you guys about them. I am wetting the 2 main roses, and if you haven't seen me watercolor before, I always like to explain this, because in case you say to yourself, she doesn't hold the brush right. That's true. I have issues with the way my wrists don't bend, basically. So I can't hold it like this without basically holding my arm like that. So unfortunately, I can't hold a brush like a regular watercolorist. So with that being said, I'm just kind of telling you that so you know where I stand with my skill set for watercoloring. I can't really watercolor like other people because I can't really hold the brush like other people. Now you've got the whole scoop. And I don't know if you can see that. I'm adding a little bit of water to dilute that red. I think I used the second one, and the second one is alizarin crimson. It's a really pretty deep red. And of course my rose is now already dry because I have a fan going in here. It's a really warm day. I'm going to add some water to my brush so I can get my watercolors flowing. The embossing powder that's already heated makes it so that your watercolors won't run anywhere outside the boundaries of the gold. So if you're worried about putting on too much water or having too much paint and having them run all over the place, that gold embossing powder will hold it basically right where you put it. I am going to be trying to dilute this a little bit, the red. I'm probably going to use a paper towel and just dab at it. I like to do that to just get some of the color and a little bit of the, make it look a little bit more dimensional without really working at it. I'll also have Rich fast forward through this. If you don't know who Rich is, he's my husband. He's the editor-in-chief of our channel, and he's always in charge of anything technical. I think I'm going to trade and go into a different red, something that's more of a berry color. Maybe that'd be this crimson red deep. We'll see what that looks like. Yeah, that ought to do it. I just have these little berries that I want to do, but I don't want them to be the same exact red. And then this gives them the chance to dry. Next up, I'm going to do some greens. I have a thing about this one kind of green that I really like. It is secret right now. Sap green, and I'm probably going to add in a little bit of olive green. I don't know. Let's try. Sap green and a little bit of olive green, and then a little bit, yeah, that's a pretty good color. What do you think? Good color? It's a good leaf color. Let's practice it on these so that we know. I'm going to put that out of the way for now, because I'm going to get it all over me if I don't. Okay. I can always go back in with another color for these to add some color and dimension, I just want to practice on these to see if I like the green that I've got. I do like this green. It's pretty. I just want to tell you this before I go any further. I had a devil of a time with embossing this image. It's big, and I kept either touching the image with my fingers and rubbing off some of the embossing powder, or I didn't get the whole thing embossed the first time, even though I had it in my MISTI, and so then I try again, and then I had problems with, even though I used that little pouch, I think because I had the fan on overhead, that I was getting all kinds of weird spots where I was actually getting, like let's say this entire leaf was filled with gold. I don't even know why or how that happened, but it just did. Like this end up in here, I don't know what happened up in there. It was just a colossal mess. So I decided, I'll just forget that and just go with adding some leaves in there. So that's what I'm going to do in this little, whatever that mess is right there. In case you wondered what that mess is, now you know. It's where I just lost my mind and didn't know what I was doing. I don't know if you heard my video where I talked about my mixing issues, where when I mix paints, I always end up taking up like 90% of the tray with one color, and I don't know why I can't. And everybody else has a little teeny tiny section of mixed paints, and I have half my palette with one color mixed on it. So I'm not sure why I can't do that like everyone else, but I don't seem to be able to do it. Don't know if you heard Bella growl. Bella doesn't know what a growl is for. She thinks it means, listen, I need a little attention here. And so that's why she growls. She growls to show you a toy. She growls to announce that she's in the room. She just growls for no real reason. I mean, it's not like a normal dog reason, at least, which is great because it's kind of cool that she doesn't understand that a growl is a bad thing. But on the flip side of that, people who don't know her are really freaked out when an 80-pound dog starts growling at her. Even though she's wagging her tail and has a toy in her mouth, like, look, I want to show you my doll. What I'm doing now is I'm trying to paint a little bit of darker edge in there, and then I'm going to go in and kind of mix it, like blend it out a little bit once it's dry. Okay, I think what I'm going to do now is I'm going to cut out my leaves, and then we're going to add them into our design wherever we can find a good spot for them. Definitely by that one on the right side where I had some issues, and definitely by the one on the left side where I had some issues. So we have two spots for sure that we need to put some leaves. But I think it'd be fun to put these up on some foam and make them look a little bit dimensional. I also need to color my background. I always like using like a blue sky, like you're looking up at the blue sky. That's what I like to do for my background. So I haven't decided if for sure if I'm going to do that, but I think I am. Okay, so let's go with a blue I like. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2. Oh, on the side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think I'm going to line my card base with gold. I have some gold mirror cardstock. So I'm going to do a layer of that over this. I'm going to get this out of the way. And then we'll put it together. I need to get a sentiment first. I need to find one that says happy anniversary. I used a sentiment from Creative Times Many Greetings that says happy anniversary on the inside of the card. And then I used a sentiment from inspired by stamping called Wishing You, and I used Wishing You for the front of the card, and that's right there. I made a 5x7 card base, and then I made a 4 7/8 by 6 7/8 inch gold piece that I'm going to layer, you know, on the blue piece on. I was trying to think of the word blue piece. Jeepers creepers. I think I'm going to maybe trim that down just a little bit so it sits on that card base a little bit better. Yeah, that looks better. You can see the card base. And I'm going to put this up on foam. I might put it up on fun foam because that's easier. So what you're going to do is you're going to, this is how I do it. I use tear tape on I'm putting tear tape on this piece because this is going to be what is going to be facing the gold foil. I'll show you that in a second. And then I put it on here for the other side of the fun foam because you want to make sure that you've done a really good job of adhering this, because fun foam doesn't really like to stick to anything sticky. You know, it doesn't like to stick to tape. It doesn't like to stick to glue. It just doesn't like it. It likes to be its own boss. But we can't have that. We need it to stick to everything. So we're going to do this. And then I'll take the backing off of all of these. You have to make sure the ends are really well adhered so that you can get it to come off of its backing paper. Okay. So I've already put my tear tape on the top and on the sides, but because this is watercolor paper, it's really hard to get it to stay adhered to. So I want to make sure I get the top and the bottom covered too. So then what you want to do is you want to take your fun foam that you just did and you want to lay it onto your base like that, and then we're going to put in these couple other pieces that we played with. That's the one I just kind of made to fit, and we just need to put a layer of foam tape right there. I'm going to do another one right there just to be on the safe side. And then this will all adhere down onto the gold paper. So that's what it looks like. And so then we're going to lay it on our gold paper. Let me see how I did for keeping that straight. Well, it's not the world's greatest job of a straight image, but it's not horrid, which for me is probably a plus, right? I probably don't want the ends in a lot of places, but if I have a spot, like for instance right here, I might be able to connect it like that to make it look like it belongs. And then what I want to do, get that off me, I'm going to put foam tape near the top. I want it to be at the top, but not at the bottom. You see that? And then at the bottom, you're going to use a glue, hopefully one that will adhere quickly. I guess my Tombow Mono Aqua might work. And then you're going to put that on the bottom section and on the little stem. Got that? Okay, so what we're going to do in this one is we're going to put it like that. And I'm going to try and keep it on the card, but it can be over the edge to the red. See this? It's going over there. Then the next place I want to put one is there. Okay, that one's good for now. It might pop back up, and if it does, we'll just deal with it then. Okay, our next piece of foam tape is right on my scissors. Where else would it be? Gotta clean my scissors again because I always get this foam tape, it's stuck to it. And again, I'm going to put it on the upper part of my leaf. like that. And then glue at the bottom like we did before. It would probably work even better if you used hot glue, because you know your hot glue gun would really hold it, hold the bottom. Ooh, almost lost that one. I think I'm going to cut off the stem on this one, but lay it so it looks like it's laying on the stem that's there. That. Then I'm going to put one, let's see, right there. Again, I'm going to cut off that, the bottom, put a little foam tape behind it. I'm cutting my squares on a diagonal, or trying to, because that makes it so it's easier to get them to fit on the leaf. And remember, you only want to put the dimension at the top of the leaf, not at the bottom. You could, if you wanted to, you could put more of, like you could layer more than one layer too. If you decided you wanted your, if you decided you wanted to have more than one leaf like layered on top of itself, like right there, that would be a cool place for one. If you decided you wanted to do that, you could definitely layer one and then another one above it. It'd be kind of cool if you did that. Okay, I'm gonna let this set for just a second. We have one more that we didn't use, but that's okay. I don't, you know, it's not like you have to do all of them. You could, you know, you could certainly put the last one there, but I think it kind of looks cool when there's one that isn't raised. So I'm going to let that sit and we'll be back. So here's our finished card. I really love the dimension on it. I'm happy with that. I love how the leaves just kind of float there. It almost looks like this third one is raised, even though it's not, but I'm really happy with it. Of course, inside says happy anniversary. And I just put some washi tape with hearts on it on the envelope just to give it a little something. I hope you enjoyed this, that you give it a thumbs up and subscribe, and please tell your friends about me on social media because you know I love that. And thanks so much for watching. Bye-bye.